Hello, this is MJ Clemenco. I think I figured out how to make doing any kind of online posting easier, and that's by just going live, making a clip. Um, so now that I'm live, what do I want to say? Well, what I wanted to talk about is grief because before, during, and after the pandemic, because I think the pandemic probably started before the alarm went off. Um, Many people lost many people they love. It was a very desolate and desperate time. And so there are many more people grieving. But this, of course, doesn't apply because there has to be a certain number of people. I just decided to talk about it because there are a lot of people I talk practice who are grieving uh, uh, for people they lost during the pandemic. And it's very sad. Um, One of the things that's important to know that I don't think I've ever seen or read anywhere, and that is that grief doesn't get over. You don't grieve for a certain amount of time and then you're all done grieving and so it's over. No. If you lose a person you love, it doesn't ever go away. I lost my son in March of 2020. And I miss him every day, and I expect to miss him every day until the day I die. And then I hope to be united with him again in wherever, whatever happens to us after death. No, I don't wear a lot of crosses because I'm not religious. I wear a lot of crosses because I love religious symbols and Day of the Dead things too, but I can't wear my Day of the Dead stuff. So now that we have that cleared up, I couldn't be with my son when he died. He wasn't supposed to die. He went in to have surgery and he was supposed to come out of surgery and we were supposed to go on. Only he didn't make it out of surgery and I couldn't even be in the hospital because it was the beginning of the pandemic and nobody knew what was what. So, uh, let's see. So I wasn't allowed in the hospital. And when he died, I couldn't believe that my baby had actually been taken away from me. Only my baby was 56 years old. That was just, did I already say? Yes, 2020. Am I over grieving? Am I finished grieving? Did I grieve enough? Of course not. Did I grieve enough to recognize that I was actually so blessed to have him that when he died at age 56, after I had screamed and cried and yelled and carried, I guess that's the same as screaming, isn't it? Well, I needed to carry on. That's why suicide is so horrible. We all need to go on for everybody else that's going on. Life is tough. It can be beautiful, it can be moving, it can be full of joy, but it also can be bloody painful. And it can be so horrible it feels like you actually do have a knife in your heart. And that's what I felt like. And that's what a lot of my clients felt like when they lost a mother or a cousin or a brother or a father or at any other time. People die all the time. That's where we're all going. None of us are getting out of this alive. So at any given time, there are people who are grieving for someone they loved who has died. And I think what happens during that beginning, uh, what's the grief process, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, is that we begin to realize that there are other people who actually are counting on us, and that it's pretty selfish to bail just because we're in pain. We have other people, whether they're friends or relatives, it doesn't matter. There are other people depending on all of us. Even if someone is depending on seeing you walk out of your house every day and give them a little wave while they walk by on their way to the park to do their daily mile or half mile with their game. I'm not going to carry my cane all the time. It's too much of a tell. However, I can tell you that I realized not only was I blessed to have my son, he was very special, but I'm also blessed to have people that love me enough to want me to be in their lives. And who am I just to decide, oh, well, this hurts too much. I'm not going on. No, no. I think the saying, suit up and show up, is a good saying. We all need to suit up and show up. And sometimes we can't even suit up, we just show up. And sometimes we can't show up, we can make a phone call. And sometimes we can't make a phone call, we send an email. But don't ever think that you eliminating yourself because of your grief or anything else that's not going right in your life is doing the rest of the world a favor. No, you're doing yourself a favor by allowing yourself to escape. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to escape. I didn't want to feel it anymore. But that wouldn't have been fair to people who depend on me. And I don't have anybody living at home. Oh, thank you, God, I don't have anybody living at home anymore. I've had plenty of years of people living at home. But my son was very special, and he will never be duplicated. And my heart will always have a hunk taken out of it because of losing him. But I also get now that I am able to not cry all day, every day, or feel like there's a knife stuck in my heart all day, every day, is that I also have an obligation to live. I have an obligation to be here for other people because life is hard for everyone, even billionaires, even though I don't think billionaires should be allowed to exist if they don't pay taxes. Even billionaires hurt. Every person, every human hurts at during their lives, at a point in their life, at some other time in their life. I couldn't begin to list all the things that humans hurt over and about. But it's not fair to abandon them. It's not fair for me to off myself, hoping that I can, in some cosmic other world, be reunited with my baby boy, as much as I would love that. And I don't talk about it all the time anymore. Well, except tonight, a live stream. But I don't talk about it in my daily life very often because it's not fair to other people. I mean, how many times can someone say, I'm sorry? or I feel for you, or I wish that hadn't happened to you. Everybody you know has said it at least once. And sometimes people you don't know have said it to you if you've happened to mention it in their presence, which is nice. But look, I know what I'm talking about, and it's not book learning. It's about how to endure. It's about how to have plenty of heart. To lose part of your heart when someone takes it with you when they die, and to still have enough heart for everybody that's left, and to be grateful that there is somebody who might want some of your heart. And believe me, if you don't think there is, you go to a hospital or a convalescent home and you sit with old people or sick babies. You go in waiting rooms of hospitals and you talk to people and you reassure them and you tell them you know it hurts, or you know they're scared, or you know they're lonely. And that's why you're there. And it will make them feel better. And what I know now that I never knew when I was young is that that's all that counts. At the end of the day, when they dump us wherever they're going to dump us or bury us wherever they're going to bury us, we don't inhabit those empty husks anymore. We're all going in the same direction. And every single one of us has something to give. And like I said a minute ago, if you don't think you do, you better go find those folks who would be delighted to talk to you for even 15 minutes. You could make a difference in someone's life. If you just walk down the street and smile at people as you pass them, believe it or not, there's somebody that you're going to smile at who hasn't been smiled at in a long time. And you won't know that. You'll just know that you walk down the street and smile. And that's what you should do. Because some things just hurt like hell. And we learn to go on. We learn to do what we should be doing. Loving. And most certainly not fighting. Good night.